stakeholders. The nationwide cleanup and recovery safety, improving sanitation, and preventing secondary disasters such as outbreaks of cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases. Particular attention will be given to the removal of refuse, silt, fallen trees, abandoned vehicles, collapsed structures, and other debris obstructing roads and waterways. As part of the operation, the Ghana Armed Forces will deploy personnel, engineers, specialized equipment to clear major drains, streams, rivers, and other critical waterways. In accordance with applicable laws and directives of the appropriate civil authorities, structures illegally erected within waterways or that pose an immediate danger to public safety and flood mitigation efforts may be removed where necessary. The Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Assemblies have also been directed to organize and lead cleanup exercises within their respective jurisdictions in support of the national operation. Their efforts will complement those of the Ghana Armed Forces and other security agencies to ensure that all affected communities receive the required attention. The government is particularly grateful to the numerous private sector organizations that have responded positively to the national appeal by voluntarily providing heavy equipment, technical expertise, and logistics to support the exercise. The government responsibility and encourages other organizations to support this important national endeavor. In addition, equipment acquired under the District Road Improvement Program is being mobilized to augment ongoing operations across affected areas. The public is advised that portions of routes may experience temporary traffic diversions or restricted access while the cleanup and engineering works are underway. Residents are therefore urged to fully cooperate with personnel on the ground and to comply with all traffic management and safety instructions issued by the security agencies. Owners and occupiers of structures located within waterways, drainage reservations, and other environmentally sensitive areas are further urged to cooperate with relevant authorities to facilitate the execution of this critical national assignment. The government remains committed to ensuring that all actions undertaken during the exercises are carried out professionally, humanely, and in accordance with Ghana's laws. Members of the public are also encouraged to support the operation by keeping drains free from refuse and other obstructions, avoiding indiscriminate dumping of waste, reporting blocked drains, damaged bridges, and dangerous structures to the appropriate authorities, observing public health advisories issued by the Ghana Health Services, and cooperating fully with officials conducting the exercise. The government assures the public that this operation forms part of a broader national flood resilience strategy that is under implementation. The strategy aims to improve drainage infrastructure, strengthen early warning systems, enforce planning environmental regulations, and enhance emergency preparedness nationwide. The success of this exercise depends on the collective efforts of government, local authorities, the security services, the private sector, civil society organizations, and every citizen. It is through this shared effort that we will restore our communities, protect lives, and build a cleaner, safer, and more resilient Ghana. On behalf of the various subcommittees that have started rigorous work, I want to assure His Excellency the President, through the Chief of Staff, who is leading this mitigation effort, that we shall not leave any stone unturned. Under the guidance of the Emergency Communications Committee, we shall provide regular, sustained public briefings and a full communications upskill as we launch into action. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to invite the coordinator of the GARID project and a member of the Post-Flood Mitigation Committee, Mr. Kojo Ohene Safo, to give us a short technical presentation to help put the challenges we face into perspective. Thank you very much.
morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mine is to present the state of affairs as we are currently experiencing it, and also trace back to what the situation was on the ground before we are currently facing the situation that we are facing. We did a study of several water bodies across the region, both the wetlands as well as the streams and storm drains. And we found certain developments that are quite stark, and we want to share with you. Starting off from most of the water bodies take their sources from the hillsides, the Akuapem Range. You would see that in 2023, the image to the left, I believe, the developments were not as many on the hillsides, and within 3 years, you see densification of developments that are happening in 2026, the same location. Basin. In 2010, the image of the Tetegu wetlands would show you on the left that it had barely any development there. But by 2026, half of the land is virtually gone. So the city does not have enough space for water to pond to allow for the runoffs not to disturb settlements. These are images that are showing how developments are proceeding in those areas. The pattern has been people import materials, fill, especially in the dry season, and then wet season they wait the next cycle of dry season, then they start building and taking up the spaces. Again, the next image you show how some of the developments are pushing the water courses into misdirecting them, so they are now meandering instead of having to follow the straight paths that originally they were supposed to pass. The Laffa Basin has experienced the same thing. You see the image, this is the Malam section of the Laffa Basin, the Malam Market, close to the Malam Market. In 2010, a few developments in the wetlands, but by 2026, more than half of the land is already taken up by developments. Again, we show you images here bordering on the salt pans at Pambros, and most of the lands here were filled with solid waste, capped with laterite, and then built upon, taking up all the land that nature has given us for us to hold water whenever there's excess runoff. The next slide is showing you how the solid waste is imported to fill the wetlands. We will show videos, a 5-minute video after this presentation to make underpin what we are talking about. Peshi, you see the image, in the image, the boundaries that are bordered by the red line was the extent as at 2012. The white line is the extent as at 2026. We've again lost about half of the lands there to developments. We wanted to take a particular point to make the case. In the Kojo stream that feeds into the Peshi Lagoon, the point where we have fixed point A, as you see in the image, as at 2002, the width of the Kojo River was 261 meters. By 2013, almost 10 years later, it had reduced to 211 meters. By 2022, it had shrunk to 19 meters. And by 2026, it has shrunk to 10.6 meters. So in a space of less than 25 years, we have reduced almost to 100% the size of the flow. And so when it rains and people are complaining this is flooding, this is the kind of human behavior that is leading to the situation that we are facing. Now, on the East Legon boundary road, there's a water body that is called the Tessa Dam. The red boundary is the extent as at 2008. The white boundary is the current extent. We've lost more than 50% of the catchment there. The Sakumono Basin. The red boundary is showing us the situation as at 2011. The white boundary is showing us the situation as at 2026. More than half of the Sakumono lost to development. These are some of the images that you see in the Sakumono catchment, where people fill and they are more or less recovering the land from the Ramsar site, almost up to the point of where it enters the sea. Second image is showing again how developments are taking up all the spaces and affecting the communities. We also did some numbers, some analysis, assembly by assembly. We're just taking a snapshot to give you just the numbers. And we did it assembly by assembly, where the main water bodies are. Ablekuma Central, as at for the stretch that we did the analysis, as at 2022, there were 6 structures. Luckily for them, in that same stretch, presently no developments have happened there. But that really is an isolated case. Ayawaso Central, 793 as at 2022, 801 as at 2026. Ayawaso East, 337 as at 2022, 494 as at 2026. Ayawaso North, 365 as at 2022, 365 as at 2026. For some of these, it's because the place is already fully built up, so there's no space for further developments to take place. Ayawaso West, 1 additional structure between 2022 and 2026. The Gas Central, 54 additional structures between 2022 and 2025. Now we have 2,329 structures in the section that we analyzed. Korle Klottey, in the section we analyzed, from 178 to 186 structures. Dade Kotopon, from 207 to 295. Okaikwe North, from 596 to 729 for just a small section that we analyzed. Wejakbawi, from 462 to 511 in the years that we did the analysis. Lejokuku, 544 to 638 in the intervening period. Ga East, from 693 to 711. Bon Katamanso, from 171 to 214. Ablekuma West, from 904 to 293. Ga West, from 456 to 559. Ga North, from 1,049 to 1,261. Ga South, from 746 to 871 structures. With just this sample, we are seeing that there of the 16 assemblies that we did the analysis for short sections, the counts are 10,497 structures. And we have lost the buffers, and this is just 25 meters of each side of the drain, which the law requires to be kept free and clear of developments. We have lost around 16% of the land, and thereby leading to the situation as we face it. We will now show you a short video that would perhaps make the case as we are currently discussing. Please, can we play the video? This is starting from the Aburi Hills, and you can see the speed at which people are clearing the surfacing and building on these places. Now, most of these places is where the source is. Once they scrape off the topsoil, it intensifies the rate at which sand comes into the basins that are downstream, that are the valley, and proceeds into the city. So when we have a lot of this silt coming into the basin, certainly is going to increase the silt levels and therefore cause the overflooding that we have in some of the spaces downstream. Yeah. This is the Sango Lagoon. You see that the water course is meandering because people are pushing the water course. All right. You see how that the water body is being forced to meander as people push the water body. And here is where presently the assembly is unable to enter and dredge because people have built directly at the edges. So it is difficult to do the dredging. So even where the assembly has the capacity or the institutions have the capacity, activities is constraining, would have otherwise reduced the impact that we have suffered. Some of these places, one of the things you will observe is that generally it's not just a water body, it's a flat plain, so that the adjoining lands are supposed to allow for wherever even there's excess water, the water can sit without disturbing human activities. This is the what they call the Malambola, South McCarthy. Lined up in the video that you see are bringing solid waste into the wetlands. And this video was taken early June, where we were able to track all of these things. And once this place is filled with a solid waste, the next action is then to pour laterite on it and then apportion it for sales. And this is one of the major wetlands that needed to be protected. Oyarefa, again, we find developments constraining. The development that you see here is a filling station, and it is sitting directly on the water body. Just a little channel has been allowed to pass under it to take the water. So when there's going to be excess water, it will have to flow backwards and spill into the communities that are upstream. Here you can see that this is a retention area, a natural retention area, and people have built within it. Some of it you can see that they have, even though they've walled it, water is ponding inside the spaces that they have kept. This property, there was a property there, a number of properties here, they fence it off, wait for dry season, then they build. They fence it off, wait for dry season, then they build. This is what's going on in certain sections of Oyarefa. So not just the water body, but the water body in combination with the wetlands that are associated with them. This is Sakumono. We've given you the numbers already, but this is the state of affairs as we have it. So when the water comes, all of these lands were supposed to be available to just receive the water. But now half of the land has been taken. In fact, if you want to take it back to those who know Tema well, in the mid-80s, the Ramsar site actually extended all the way to Committee 12. But now we've lost Committee 12, Committee 6, some parts of Committee 5, Committee 3, and on the other side, we have Klagon. We have all those communities that have come up and pushed the water body into the small catchment as we now have it. Most of these spaces were all part of the original Sakumono Ramsar site. This is Tetegu. All of this was part of the wetland. All of it was part of the wetland. Now we have developments all over. And like I said in the presentation, forcing the channel to meander instead of having its free course to flow directly to where it must go and then help the water levels to recede and not affect people. These are all properties that are constraining, built over it, put some 2 pipes under it, as though the pipes were enough. And then there's also one where the channel has been diverted 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees around people's buildings. People deliberately blocked the path to recover the land and redirected it at 90-degree turns, and it led to the situations that we are having across the city. There's one of the turnings that we're talking about. how that the development is pushing the land, is pushing the water, and the water has to now meander around human settlements. These areas downstream were all supposed to be kept free so that the water should be able to, but people are building and trying to come into the spaces where the water itself must run. Developments all over, both high income, middle income, low income. It's a function of the whole society's attitude and behavior that is affecting everybody. Most of these spaces were all part of the original wetlands, but have now become fully developed communities. And so when we have the volumes of rain that we have, the water doesn't have a natural path that would not adversely impact people. It would rather affect people. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Brigadier and Dr. Kojo Ohene Safu. Now that had to do with post-flood mitigation measures. As you may be aware, there is another component that deals with relief for victims of last Monday's downpour, and that is what I am going to speak about in order to shed light on what has happened so far. So I'm going to give you an overview of the situation currently. Now, the impact of the floods spans 7 regions, with the Greater Accra, Volta, and Central regions being the hardest hit. I want to assure the public that the government's response has been swift, coordinated, and continuous. Under the direct instruction of the President, NADMO, through the Relief and Donations Committee, has commenced the aggressive mobilization and distribution of essential relief items, including food, blankets, to ensure orderly and rapid deployment. The distribution to the affected districts is being executed in structured phases. On Wednesday, 1st July 2026, emergency relief items were successfully dispatched and issued to the following municipal areas in the capital: La Dade Kotopon Municipality, Ayawaso Central, and Korle Klote Municipality. Yesterday, Thursday, 2nd July 2026, a second major wave of relief distributions were rolled out to the 7 critical districts: Krowo Municipality, Ga East, which is Dome Kwadenya, Shai Osudoku, Adan East, Ablekuma North, Adan West, and Okankwe North. To our brothers and sisters in the Central region, Volta, Western, Ashanti, Western North, and the Eastern regions, please be assured that you have not been forgotten. Even as we speak, on the high-density displacements in Greater Accra, logistics columns are currently being organized to dispatch massive relief packages to the Central region, Volta region, and all other affected districts across the country. NADMO regional coordinators are on the ground, and additional supplies will arrive in your communities starting tomorrow. As we navigate the aftermath of this disaster, we remain vigilant to adhere to safety warnings and to report emergencies. Your government, the Mahama administration, will not rest until every displaced family is safely housed, every affected district is restored, and our communities are rebuilt to be stronger and more resilient against future weather anomalies. We thank our emergency services workers, the military, the police, health workers, and volunteer groups who have worked tirelessly around the clock. We will keep the public updated with briefings as the situations unfold. I thank you very much for your attention. So we've had a briefing from the mitigation side of things. I've also shed light on what we are doing by way of relief. In view of time constraints, there's another major activity currently happening involving the President of Ghana. So we need to maximize the time. I'm able, therefore, to take only 2 questions from the media, strictly in relation to the presentations that have been made. No tangential issues are allowed. Yes.
considering the widespread nature of what has been the situation for about 20 or so days now, many are of the view that they would want to see a firmer action. And looking at the presentation that the Garrett coordinator just gave, it appears that there's a lot of indiscipline and a flouting of rules here and there. What is this? What is going to be the next action that the government is going to take, more or less a ruthless one, to ensure that this or the coming days may not, we may not have to see a thing of this again?
All right, thank you very much. If there's any other question, I'll take it now, and then the appropriate responses will be given. Okay, Brigadier Okanyebua, you may want to take this one.
Thank you very much. As I indicated in my statement, an area reconnaissance was conducted. We've gone on the ground, we've conducted reconnaissance on the ground, and together with all the stakeholders. This is not an event, it's a process. It's going to take some time, so detailed planning is going on. And like I said, we are supposed to clear debris, clear waterways. So if we have to pull down structures that are obstructing our waterways, we'll do so. Thank you.
All right, so it is clear. He says if we have to pull down structures, that will be done without let or hindrance. There's room for one more question. In the absence, okay, just one more. And then,
So, good morning. My name is Emmanuel Romeo Tete. I report for Ahonto 92.3 FM. Please, I want to know if there are timelines set for completing of the nationwide cleanup exercise, the cleaning of the debris, if there is any timeline. Thank you.
I thought he just answered that it is not an event, it is a process, but it is starting immediately. That we can place on record. So thank you very much, members of the media, for coming. And as events unfold, we will keep you constantly updated. Thanks.
We just finished an aerial tour of Accra to inspect the flooded areas. Unfortunately, the flooding has been very extensive today for several reasons. There's climate. If you look at the rainfall pattern from 2024, 2025, 2026, you see that increasingly every year we're getting more rain in Accra than we used to get. Accra is built between two natural bodies, the Kwapim Mountain Range and the Atlantic Ocean. And in those years, it was not a problem because Accra was a very small city. But as the population continues to increase and people continue to build, it restricts the path of the streams on their way to the Atlantic. So that's an engineering problem. We need to see how to open the channel so that the water can pass. But then there's also the other aspect, which is behavior, that is dumping garbage in the drains. Even in the air, we discovered many illicit dumping sites where the wetlands are. People have gone to create a waste dumping ground, and they charge 20 cedis for the Aboboya to come and fill the waste into the wetlands. And when it has filled sufficiently, they sell the land to people to come and build on it. Anytime you begin to take action and you start breaking houses, people think that government is inhumane. But when the problem arises like this flood, it affects everybody. And so all of us have been affected because of the conduct of a few people blocking the channels. and preventing the water from passing. And so we'll call a National Security Council meeting. We're asking every district to identify, together with the Works and Housing Ministry, where the blockages in the channels are as they pass through the district assemblies, so that we can earmark those places for removal. You see, they've even filled part of the waterway with garbage. Yes, sir. And then all these people are built here. They're in the park. Yes, sir. Ultimately, the other solution will be to decongest Accra, and that's why we're planning that we move some of the city out, that is the major government departments, and then also create a new center of growth so that Apple will start building Accra in a new city instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. So, but that's a long-term solution. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro, Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected.
After going through that tour, we realized two issues, one being engineering and the other being attitudinal. It's tasked us as a ministry to ensure that the engineering part, we put our engineers together to ensure that the right thing is done, and also ensure that the good people of Ghana also do the right thing to ensure that at the end of the day we'll be able to get the best for our good country, Ghana.
But let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime it is raining, he says as soon as it stops raining, you repair his roof. And then as soon as it stops raining, he says, oh, it has stopped raining, so there's no need to repair the roof. This time should be different.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
My new girl is coming over today, and I have to give her a treat of my life.
Hi. Hey. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Fine. I got you a paint. This is Easy Waterproof Paint, the best ever solution for all sort of leakages. I got it for you.
Thank you.
Easy Waterproof Paint can be used on any surface, being it cement, blocks, roofing sheets, swimming pools, and more. It can also be used as primer before you apply any paint to help provide extra protection.
Easy Waterproof Paint. No more leakages.
Edi asema menya oden o tiantie mu amanfo ada wo hye me boso obeto phone na mame me phone na say dada menya oden
Them was surprised man.
Surprise ben.
Surprise.
Hey, Kofi papa e phone o iPhone 13 nanya ne
Ende me fankofo bi mienu o amuko circle ene ba ko ne ka chena dan for hour ono ode ne Ghana card ekọ EBA phone so a otua 40% pen e di phone man no a da aka no betua ne kakra Timothy ya me drop na me so me call ho ana me kwanya wo phone de brɛ wo no.
Oh, Kofi papa me da se. Na me shraw.
De bi kogu bi. Yes,
Wo EBA phones hadie, yeton iPhones ne ho akade nyina. Ye sanso de ma wholesale. So ye dealer na so pedodo atua. Anase afi na wo hye iPhone business na sia. Braya sia ye. Hwehwe ye chira kwan e wa Accra Circle Mall. Any Tiptoe Lane, modern photos in chain. American Monso, ye ni Odor Rice ene di nhwenim. Kumase ye wedum ejekuma brunsan nim. Obetumi so hu ye e wo www.ebaphones.com. EBA Phones. No hassle cry.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis only on GoTV.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Before they were the Black Stars, they were the Gold Coast. Empires crossed oceans to take the gold they took the people too. But they could not take the game. Because football in Ghana does not belong to stadiums or television deals. It belongs to the street, to the red dust of Nima, to a boy with no boots, whose mother sold food in the market before dawn so he could dream after it. South Africa 2010, Africa's World Cup.
Quarterfinal Ghana versus Uruguay, last second of extra time. Luis Suarez raised both hands and caught the ball on the line. Penalty.
Asamoah Gyan stepped up, the man who had carried a continent on his back and hit the crossbar. Anytime I'm alone, he said years later, it still haunts me. The closest Africa had ever come, gone. Mohamed Kudus was 10 years old in Nima, a Zongo, a ghetto, when his coach first saw him play and said, I name him world's best.
His mother sold to Ozafi in the market. She fed 4 children, she fed his dream too.
Iñaki Williams was born in Bilbao to parents who crossed the Sahara on foot. He chose Ghana because blood remembers what passports forget. These are not just footballers, they are the scattered sons of a nation that refuses to be forgotten.
October 12th, 2025, Accra, Ghana versus Comoros. They needed a win. 47th minute, Hardy played the ball. Kudus received it. 30 yards out, composed like a boy on a dusty pitch who had done this 10,000 times. He shot.
In Accra, they poured into the streets. In Kumasi, strangers held strangers. In Bristol, in Bilbao, in London, the same scream in 4 languages, meaning one thing: we are going.
June 17, Toronto, Panama. June 23, Boston, England. June 27, Philadelphia, Croatia.
They are not coming to participate. They are coming with the memory of a crossbar in Johannesburg that broke a continent's heart. They are coming for the star on their flag, the Black Star of Africa, that has been burning since 1957 and has never, not once, gone out.
Ghana, Ghana.